What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie298 coming at you live. Let's get into the power of the internet. And I just wrapped with the YouTube team over at the YouTube live stream, and now I'm here to talk to you guys about. I'm skipping Ubisoft for now. We'll come back to Ubisoft, but I'll go right into Sony's presser because it was amazing. Now, going into this press conference, Sony said that they were going to save all the smaller games or leak the smaller games early, like, you know, the new Tetris thing and stuff like that. But instead, they were going to focus on 4 major games: The Last of Us 2. Ghost of Sushi Moms, which I think is Ghost of Sushi Moms. Ghost of Sushi Moms would be the ghost of all the sushi I've eaten, I think, and their moms. I'm not sure. But then, of course, Spider-Man, and then Death Stranding, which, and these 4 games looked amazing. They absolutely looked amazing. So starting off with a lot more Last of Us 2 and some scripted gameplay, and it looked really good. I mean, the violence in that was completely over the top. It was really nice seeing Ellie and seeing Ellie dancing and seeing Ellie almost kissing, but they cut away from it early on to go to the violence and gore. And I see a lot of people already upset at the gore that was shown here, but here's the thing. It's Naughty Dog. You can't get mad at Naughty Dog, and if you do, it's just not going to stick. They're Teflon. Their games have always been gory. They're always going to be gory. Last of Us is gory. It's meant to be gory. It's okay that it's gory. It's okay that it's gory. But yeah, I'm super excited to play Last of Us, and I was really glad to see more Last of Us gameplay. The problem is, I don't want to see any more Last of Us gameplay or Last of Us stuff. Only thing I want to see in Last of Us is a release date. Please just let me play it. Just give it to me at this point. I don't even want to watch any more trailers. I don't want anything else spoiled. I know I'm going to play it. I'm already sufficiently hyped. Just sell me the damn thing. Then they showed Ghost of Tsushima gameplay, and then showed a little bit of the world building, and I just gotta say, the game looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure if the combat that they showed, which is kind of reminiscent of a very deliberate style of combat where you're blocking very intently and striking at a very important time, stuff like that. I don't know if that's my kind of thing. It kind of reminds me of Dark Souls. I hate to compare anything to Dark Souls anymore, and it's probably not even close, but I don't know if that's my kind of game. It's beautiful enough to where I think I'll try it anyway. It's definitely on my radar now, which it wasn't before the show. I don't know if I'll love it, but I'll definitely try it. And finally, we got to see a lot of Death Stranding. And yeah, more freaky, weird baby stuff and like weird gross out stuff and alien stuff, but also gameplay and a really weird backpack and Norman Reedus just looking bizarre and unusual and ghosts. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. They really did just tell Kojima to do whatever the hell he wanted, and what he wanted to do was make something really, really weird. But after seeing the gameplay and get an idea of how the game is actually going to play, I'm even more interested. I think it's going to be really fun to play. Also, fun story, I got to meet Kojima and thank him for his games, so that was pretty awesome. Then there's Spider-Man, and as a Spider fan, I'm super excited, and as you know, but not only did I get to see the trailer along with everybody else, I actually got to go to the PlayStation party afterwards, and I got to go see people actually playing Spider-Man. I didn't get to play it myself because the line was too long, but I was allowed to come up and watch people actually play it. It seemed a little clunkier than it seemed on the show. The show trailer was amazing, but I was curious which enemies they were going to use. And it turns out they're going to use all of the enemies, all of the good Spider-Man enemies. And so if the web slinging is fun, if the combat is fun, they've got a hell of a story here. Please let it be good. It looks good. And of course, that's launching this fall, so we'll know really soon if it's good. What really excites me about Spider-Man is the story, but the gameplay mechanics and the combat and the web slinging all have to be really good. And they look okay. They look okay from what I've seen. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll actually get to play it. I'll stand in line to play it if I have to, and I'll hopefully be able to capture a little bit of gameplay footage for you. But what I saw is enough to where if it's got a good story, it's still going to be a very, very good game, even if that stuff does turn out to be clunky. But I don't think it will be. I think the people I was watching just weren't very good at it. It was a really short demo, so they didn't get a chance to get good at it. One person I did see playing it did seem to be good at it, and when he was playing it, it just looked beautiful and fun. A few other little pieces, and I'm not sure all of this is first-party stuff, so forgive me if it's not. Resident Evil 2 is getting a full remake treatment, so that looks absolutely amazing. If you love Resident Evil 2, going from the ground up to rebuild it looks perfect. It's not just a port, it's a rebuild. For those of you who are still fans of VR games, the folks over at From Software, actually, you know, Dark Souls, they got another game called Decarine. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but it's on my radar because I do love VR, and I do love From Software, even though I suck at their games. They announced that there is going to be a Neo 2, which is sad because I never played the first Neo, because it's a kind of Dark Souls, almost perfect clone, speaking of Dark Souls, but I do want to play it. It's on my radar. I will play it before Neo 2 comes out, but that is definitely coming out. Then I should definitely mention another what looks like exclusive, but I'm not entirely sure. It's a game called Control by Remedy Entertainment. It just looks like a bizarre sci-fi adventure with these really, really weird visuals, almost inspired by like MC Escher. So I really want to see what that game is about. It just seems bizarre. So ignoring the third-party stuff, and there was a fair amount of it, it was kind of a weird and awkward show. The beginning of the show had like no steam, and they really did focus on just those 4 games with not a lot of big surprises. I was hoping for big surprises, some new titles to round out this generation. It looks like they're really going to coast on the fumes of these 4 big games, and we don't have release dates for 3 of them, and that's super irritating. That's super frustrating. Again, it's the same problem I had with Microsoft's show. We don't have release dates, so I don't know exactly when to be excited or what to be excited for. But just like I said for Microsoft, I think it's important to make sure your game is right, make sure your game is good, make sure your game is finished before you release it. I'm a patient person. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be excited about this fall other than Spider-Man. And I'm excited, but not excited as I would be for Last of Us or Death Stranding. But overall, I mean, it's a decent show. It was awkward in parts. It was weird in parts. They had sound mixing issues in parts. But those 4 games, especially Death Stranding, was enough to where when they were showing that in the studio, I was at the YouTube studio, Jeff Keighley shot up out of the seat and he ran over to the monitor and he started taking pictures of the screen and sharing it. He was just so excited and the mood was electric and it was just wonderful. And when they finally showed Spider-Man, everyone was going nuts, myself included, as a huge Spider-Man fan. Pun intended, quite the huge Spider-Man fan. These are games I'm really, really looking forward to playing. Kind of how I felt about Microsoft Conference as well. I just need those games to actually show up. Please let me play them now. And that's going to do it for the Sony segment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this segment, don't forget there's other segments as well. You can find them here on the channel, and I hope that you watch them. I've covered so far EA, I've covered Microsoft, and now I've covered Bethesda. I still have Ubisoft to do. I still have Nintendo to do. I still have Square Enix to do, maybe the PC gaming one. And then don't forget, of course, later in the week, Francis is going to come out and talk about all of this stuff too. Probably not everything, just the highlights, but he'll be here as well. So stay tuned to the channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. I'll speak with you again soon. And thanks for putting up with this weird, awkward background and lighting and everything else. I'm so glad you're still watching because it's been such a great E3. Tomorrow I get to go hit the show floor and actually play some games and meet some devs. But I've enjoyed covering this for you so far, and I'm glad you've enjoyed watching it. See ya.